Hello everybody and welcome back to another art challenge video. Today we're going to be taking on the one marker challenge. Now I've seen people do this a couple different ways. There's some people that draw with a pencil and pen and then color it in with one marker. There's people that use brush and rubbing alcohol or water to make it like paint. But when I say a one marker challenge, I mean a one marker challenge, which means I use one marker and nothing else. So this is my one marker. It was randomly assigned. It is Copic B79, which is this sort of royal blue iris color. You can see my test sheet here. And I tried out a couple different techniques with this marker before I dove into the challenge to get some different values. So I tried stippling. I tried going in with the brush tip and the chisel tip. I tried coloring on the back. I tried putting another piece of paper on front and let it bleed through. I even went and got the darkest possible color shade I could get by layering 6 different layers of color, really hard saturation to get the darkest color possible. And then once I had figured out kind of what my marker was capable of, I dove into the actual art challenge. So I started off by doing an underdrawing on a separate sheet of paper just to get the proper proportions and everything using my marker. And then, after I got everything where I wanted it, I kind of went over the top and traced through the paper, being able to see the lines underneath onto the final sheet, so I could get the line work in. The next thing I did was I went in and really added those layers of heavy darkness, the darkest part of the piece. And I did this up front because I knew that I would have to go over it several times to get that really heavy dark. Flipping it over to the back, I was able to get a secondary color shade by adding darkness on the back and then letting it bleed through to the front. Here you can see me using the chisel tip for the corset top. And then I stippled around on the top, which had not only the effect of shading, but also made it look like it had sequins. By this point, my marker was kind of losing ink a bit, so I went in and really started trying to conserve it as much as possible. Using the dry marker, I was able to get a lot of shades and values that were too light for me to achieve otherwise. I then got myself a second marker of the same color because it was completely gone, but I had the first one still lying around, and I will be making most of that, as you can see. For the background, I've got my new marker, which is creating those nice dark areas for the branches of the trees and so forth. And then, by layering another piece of paper over the top of my final piece, I could go in and really lay into the marker on this top sheet so that it would bleed through onto the final piece, creating the variation in tone, which also gives it this nice atmospheric effect, which I think looks pretty cool. Then, since I wanted to use the same marker, I took the old dry one and use that to go in and kind of blend the areas of that shading a little bit more. Once you layer the pieces together, you can have them line up one to the other, and you can really see what it looks like once I put it on the light box, which gives this nice atmospheric effect too. So that's my final piece. I used one marker completely. I used the second marker mostly, but of the same color. And I used 6 different layers on the 3 different pieces of paper to get the final result. This was a lot of fun. And honestly, if you want to give this challenge a shot, I would definitely recommend it. If you do, post it up on our Creant Reddit at r/CreantWorld using the Flare Art Challenge. But until next time, I'll see you later.